In this video, we are going to continue with our task of trying to figure out what to believe. But what I'm going to show you is a way to use food labels themselves and the language that appears on them to evaluate the truth of the claims without going to the scientific literature. It's a shortcut. So here we have three products. Some Green Giant vegetable mix, which they're calling Immunity Boost. Here is a product called Prevagen, which claims to improve your memory. And here's Cheerios. The claims that are on these are as follows: improves memory, supports healthy brain function, sharper mind, and clearer thinking. Here on the food, it says that it helps support a healthy immune system. And in Cheerios, it says that oats help naturally lower cholesterol. So those are the claims. Which of these are true? If I had to base my choice based on just the how scientific it sounds, I would actually vote for this one. It says clinically tested, and you know that clinical trials is what you use to prove cause and effect. So that sounds good. So let's go dig in a little bit and see which is best to believe. All right, so we have this government office called the Food and Drug Administration, and they are charged with making sure that the things that we ingest are safe, and if they make a claim about what they're going to do for you, that those claims are backed up and that they are actually effective in doing what they say they're going to do. So the FDA, what the FDA looks for depends on what category the thing that you ingest falls into, whether it's a food, a dietary supplement, or a drug. So first we need to talk about the definitions of those three things according to the FDA. Okay, so the FDA considers food to be anything that provides basic nutrition. A dietary supplement, on the other hand, provides things for you that your diet alone can't provide. Either it's a chemical naturally found in food that you need more of, or that you can't eat the natural food. Maybe you have a dietary reaction to it, and so those dietary supplements will provide those things for you. A drug, on the other hand, is a compound which diagnoses, cures, mitigates, treats, or prevents disease, or alters the function or structure of your body. If it does any of those things, it considers it to be a drug. So these definitions are based on what the intention is for the product. Now, because there's some similarities between dietary supplements and food, and between dietary supplements and drugs, the FDA adds some extra definitions on to dietary supplements to make it clearer as to what is a dietary supplement and what is food and what is drugs. So in addition to these basic intention definitions, whether it provides nutrition or affects disease or natural function, an extra definitions are added based on the contents in the form for dietary supplements. So what distinguishes dietary supplements from drugs is that the contents of the dietary supplements are things that you would normally find in food: vitamins, minerals, herbs, botanicals, amino acids, and other dietary substances. And that's what makes them like foods. But dietary supplements are like drugs, but unlike food because of the form that it comes in. So those dietary supplement ingredients come packaged in tablets, capsules, soft gels, liquids, or powders. So they will look like drugs, but the contents are things that would normally be found in food. So that is why you might say that foods are related to dietary supplements because of their contents, and they're also related to drugs because of their forms. But when you put together the intention with all three of those, it makes dietary supplements distinct. So the FDA uses these definitions to decide whether or not to regulate a particular product thing that you ingest. And if it does regulate it, how does it regulate it? As I said, the FDA is responsible for monitoring safety and effectiveness. So for safety, the FDA monitors food safety. And manufacturers can't sell a new product or can't sell an old product until they have proven to the FDA that it's safe. The onus is on the manufacturer. If they want their product sold in the United States, it has to be proven according to the criteria that the FDA accepts as proof. Drugs also have the same standard. The drug manufacturers have to prove to the FDA that it's safe using clinical trials and showing that people don't die when you take their drugs. Dietary supplements, on the other hand, they do not have any requirement to prove to the FDA that they're safe. When somebody wants to sell a dietary supplement in the United States, they can go right ahead. They have to, at some point, if they're found to be unsafe, then it will be up to the FDA to prove to the manufacturer that their supplement is unsafe. So the burden is actually on the FDA for dietary supplements. All right, so the second issue is effectiveness. And the way that they decide what to rate for effectiveness is based on what claims the thing that you ingest wants to make on the labels. If they don't make any claims, then it's out there. It's your decision as to whether you want to ingest it or not. No claims made about safety or effectiveness. You're on your own. However, if you have something on your label that makes a claim of how this food is going to affect you, affect your health, or affect your structure or function, then there needs to be some standards. What the FDA says is that if you make a health benefit, then you have to submit a plan for what you will say on the label and submit it to the FDA, and the FDA will review it and decide whether or not that claim of how it affects your health is supported by evidence. But if it is a structure function claim, then that doesn't hold. You don't need to get that prior FDA approval for that. For drugs, that is the same as for food. However, drugs can't make structure function claims because structure function claims are something that dietary supplements make. That would put it in the same category as a dietary supplement, and then they would lose their status as a drug, which is superior. Dietary supplements, on the other hand, they cannot make health claims. So they don't need to submit their health claims to the FDA, because if they submitted a health claim that they plan to make, then the FDA would say, well, you are trying to make application as a drug, and now the drug type standards, you have to demonstrate safety, you have to demonstrate efficacy. And because doing that is very expensive, supplements will do everything that they can to come as close to making health claims as they can without actually crossing that line, so that they can avoid being reclassified as a drug. If they make a structure function claim, then the FDA does not need to review the truthfulness of it. So FDA does not review claims that are in the structure function category, either for foods or for supplements. All right, so let's talk then about what the difference is between these claims. What's a health claim, what's a structure function claim, and then there's a third category called a qualified health claim that so far I think appears only on one product out there, but it's a new category. So a health claim is one that makes a connection between either a component of a food or a food in particular and health, some reduction in disease. So an example of a health claim is diets low in fat and rich in fruits and vegetables may reduce the risk of certain cancers. That's an active role that it plays. It implies a causative effect on these diseases. And what they're claiming here, cancer, is definitely a disease. Where you would find this is on the label of anything that has fruits or vegetables on it. So presumably every fruit or vegetable out there could put that on their label, and that would be fine. A structure function claim, on the other hand, makes the claim that the product affects, not alters, but affects the structure or affects a normal function, not a disease function, a normal function. So this is a structure claim. It says calcium builds strong bones. It doesn't say that calcium cures a strong bone disease, which is called osteoporosis. The word maintains is also a passive word that doesn't really mean changes the course of. It just says it interacts with it. So the statement fiber maintains bowel regularity is a structure function way to say that fiber cures constipation, and that's a structure function claim. So maintains, builds. Another word that you're going to see in structure functions is support. And now note here that it says support a system. So there is an immune system that we all have, and it supports the normal functioning of the immune system, and that is a structure function claim. Okay, the third type of claim is a qualified health claim. This is a category of health claims where the evidence is not quite strong enough for the FDA to approve it as a full health claim. And so in this case, the manufacturers are required to put this extra disclaimer language. It will say scientific evidence or studies suggests but does not prove, and then it will go on to make something that looks like a health claim. So those are the three types. All right, so here are the three products that we looked at in the opening slide. I want you to take a minute and see if you can pick out which are the foods and which are the supplements, which of the claims are health claims and which are structure function claims.